Yo, what's up, everybody? Today, I'm just going to do a little league breakdown, just kind of where the league is at, 25 games in, just a little update on all the teams, surprises, unexpected teams that are kind of coming out of nowhere, who could make a run, what the playoffs might look like. So we'll start off with the Eastern Conference up here, start from the bottom. The Magic, 5-20 on the season on a 9-game losing streak. That's pretty rough. See, they're 1-11 on the road, so they're having some trouble. It's a pretty young team, I believe. I know they got Paolo, who's been going off. Bull, a lot of news. He's been in the news a lot. I mean, I've heard a lot of things about their players. You don't really hear much about Mo Bamba anymore. I know Paolo's been doing well. Let's see. Oh, let's see how good Paolo. Yeah, so Paolo, he's been pretty much carrying them, I think. Yeah, 20, 22, 24. It's averaging 21 on the season. I mean, that's pretty good, especially for a rookie. Um, uh, Chuma, I mean, he's I think of him as a pretty solid guy. Jonathan Isaac, I think, is a solid young guy. Bull, I know he's been performing 12 points per game. It's not insane. I mean, his versatility is crazy though. 7-2, third year guy. He if he could develop, he could be a monster. I mean, a lot of people are saying he um is Victor Wembanyama, the closest comparison to Victor Wembanyama. 1 second. And I mean, I think Victor is going to have way more star power when he gets to the NBA. He's definitely averaging more than 12 when he gets here. A lot younger. I mean, Bull's 23, Victor's only 18. So I mean, Bull's still got time, but uh, they're struggling as a team, but they're pretty young. Wait, let me look at this. It says their ages in here. So I mean, they're all low 20s except for Gary Harris. Yeah, I mean, Terrence Ross is old, but I doubt he gets much PT. I mean, they're all mid to low 20s. I mean, Caleb Houston, 19. Paolo's only 20. I mean, a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys. I mean, they got Mo is a fourth year guy, and it's like one of their veterans other than Gary. So I mean, they're young. They're not going to do much this season. Obviously, they're probably vying for Wembanyama. The Pistons, I know they got Cade Cunningham. Um, I mean, they won their last game. That's pretty much all they've got to celebrate. I mean, they're 7-19. Another young team, I believe. Let's see. 19, 21, 20. Well, I mean, pretty standard for NBA, I would say. Um, but Cade Cunningham, I wonder how's he doing? 19 points per game, so he's playing well. He's only 21 too, so that's kind of their young guy, their young star. Not a lot going to happen from the Pistons. LaMelo is still hurt, I believe. 19 points per game. He didn't play. Let's see. Yeah, so he hasn't played since November 16th, where he had 26 points. I don't know when his timeline for coming back remains out. I thought he was like game to game, but he's been game to game for a while. Yes, I mean these are days apart. First, third, fourth, sixth, and it just says still out, out again, out again. So I don't know what is. I believe it's his ankle. This is a pretty young team too, except for Terry. See James Bouknight. I like him as a player. Him, how much PT does he get? I wonder. So he's gotten more recently here, 24, 15, 12. So I mean, he had a 24-minute night in November. Oh, is he not? He's not playing either. Hmm. Okay. I don't know what's up with him. I like him as a player. I liked him in college. Um, Dennis Smith, star power. I'm kind of just looking at what stars they got, you know, what they might be able to do. The Bulls, kind of, not much promise from them. The Heat, also, I mean, the Heat are typically pretty good. They usually turn it around by the end. It might just be a roster problem right now, or they might be injured. I mean, they got Victor, Kyle Lowry, Bam, Tyler. I mean, Jimmy. I mean, what this team is good. They've got to be fighting some injuries. And Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA. So if anybody's going to turn them around, it's them. I mean, it's him. Let's see, 3-game losing streak. They're 8-5 on at home, so they're struggling on the road. They're still a middle of the pack team. They could turn it around. It's a long, long season. This is so early in the season that I mean, some of these teams could make early runs. I mean, like the Lakers, they're kind of turning it around already. The Wizards, don't hear much about them, honestly. Kristaps, I wonder how he's doing. 21 points per game. So he's just a quiet menace right now. 41 points the other night. Kristaps making a little comeback. I kind of forget about him just because when he got injured, he came back slow. See Bradley Beal. I mean, he's got to be hooping. Yeah, 22.9. Yeah, I mean that's what you kind of expect from him. He's got to be one of their guys. Rui, I liked Rui in college when he was in Gonzaga, right? 11. I mean, he's a guy who I didn't know if he was going to pan out in the league. I think it might still be too early to tell. He's in his third year. Kyle Kuzma, I wonder how he's been doing since he left. 20 points per game from Kyle. Okay. So Kyle's been hooping. So I mean, they've got some dogs. I mean, Will Barton's not bad. So I mean, this is a team that could turn it around. Taj Gibson's old veteran in the locker room. I mean, this is a pretty solid team. Will Barton's normally a good role player. So yes, I mean, seven a game. How many minutes a game? Okay, like 20-ish, maybe a little bit more. Okay, I mean, that's a middle of the pack team who, I mean, all these teams in here, like probably 6 through 12, they're all teams that, I mean, could turn it around. And I'm not saying the Magic couldn't or the Pistons couldn't, but they're just young and, young teams, they kind of just got to take their licks and learn their lessons at the beginning. The Knicks in middle of the pack, no surprise there, really. Obi, I love Obi. He's a dog. See, he's got to be better than that, I would say. And he's only in his second year, so I mean, he just has to produce more, in my opinion, for them. He's just a force on the court. Derrick Rose, let's see how Derrick's been playing. That's about what I expect. 6 points per game. I mean, I'm surprised he's even playing. He outlasted a lot of people in the league when people thought his career was over. Svi, I liked Svi when he was at Kansas. I mean, I don't expect him to do anything. I just like Kansas. Cam Reddish, 8. So far, I'm not seeing anybody who's kind of carrying. RJ, he's got to be carrying. Okay, 18.4. It's not bad. Jalen, 21. Here we go. So Jalen is a dog. Big fan of Jalen Brunson. I mean, they've got some good players. I think they have a couple underperformers right now, honestly, which might be why they're losing. And they're not. I mean, they're about even, so it's not like they're just middle of the pack. The Raptors typically are pretty good. Let's see how Pascal's doing. 24.5 per game. He's an animal. 8 rebounds, 7 assists. This guy's insane. I love Pascal and Fred. Fred is just easy to like as a player. 16 points per game and came from Wichita State. OG Anunoby, 19, a young guy. Oh, he's actually older than I thought he was, 25. But he's good. The Raptors have weapons for sure, and they're well coached. Nick Nurse has been there before. He knows what he's doing. Precious Achua, that's a younger guy. Okay, he could do more, but he's also young. I mean, they've definitely got talent. Otto Porter. I mean, Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is a dog. 14.5 is actually pretty good for him. I see him as like an elite defender, hustle, rebounding guy. And if he can score 14.5 per game for you, you're in good shape. And he's 1 year in. Let's see. Yeah. I always believe in the Raptors. They could make a playoff run. I mean, all these teams are in it now. I mean, these are just middle of the pack teams. It's so early. You win a few games in a row, you catch fire. James Harden, let's see how he's been doing this season. 21, well, basically 22 per game. Pretty good. I mean, he plays his game wherever he goes normally. Veteran, 9 assists per game. That's kind of, you got to have that from him. Tyrese Maxey has been hooping. He had 23 per game. He's a young guy with immense potential. I really like this team. Joel, 32 per game. He's in the MVP race. I mean, he's in the MVP race almost every year, it seems like. Montrez just kind of does what Montrez does. He's just out there being a role player now. Yeah, I mean, PJ, Tobias, they got a lot of guys on their team who are experienced, seasoned veterans, and they've been there before. They'll figure it out. The Nets, I mean, the Nets have a lot of promise. Obviously, they've got a lot of star power. They can figure out the Kyrie Irving stuff. Okay, so Kyrie's back. He should be back. I would have him on the floor if I was the coach. 24.4 per game. Got to have that from him, and obviously from KD. 30 per game. That's what you expect. Crazy to expect that from him, but that's what I expect from him. I'd like to see more out of Ben, honestly. Has Ben been playing? Okay, so he hasn't played in their most recent games. But I'd like to see him, get back to form. There might just be too thin on the role players, honestly, because you got some star power in KD, in Kyrie, and Ben, and then you just got a lot of I've heard good things about Watanabe. 8 points per game. He's a 3-point sniper, isn't he? Yeah, so he's shooting 57% from three right now. That is really good. I think we're going to have a video about him come up soon because this dude is an animal behind the 3-point line. Kind of slept on. And he's 6'8", so always dangerous. The Pacers, let's see how they're on. Oh, don't do this to me, NBA. Okay. Yeah, the Pacers are hooping. I think Tyrese is eating 19. Yeah, in his second year. I like Tyrese. He was slept on in the draft for sure. Benedict Mathurin, he was 18 points per game. He's a rookie. I'd love to see that from him. He was insane at Arizona. Let's see, Andrew Nimhard. Buddy Hield. I wonder how Buddy's playing now. 17 per game. Okay. I mean, I consider Buddy a good player. He's kind of forgotten about now because he's been in the league so long. Miles Turner might be their starting five. I don't know. Not up to date on the Pistons. But yeah, Andrew Nimhard, let's see, 9 points a game. So, I mean, they've got some guys who are young, in Tyrese and Ben. And Buddy got some experience. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously doing pretty good. They figured something out. The 13-11, 7-4 at home. They're losing a couple too many road games. The Hawks are out here hooping 13-11. I mean, got to think 13-11. That's only 2 games ahead of the 10th team. So all these teams are pretty much the same, give or take a couple games. These teams just closed out those extra couple games. Want to see how Trey's doing. 27 per game, 9 assists. That's what you like to see from your stars. Frank Kaminsky, I remember him, 2 points a game. That's kind of what I expected. DeJounte, I think him and Trey were getting into it at some point. 21 in a game. He's a dog, always has been. Yeah, I mean, DeAndre Hunter, let's see, 15 a game. Yeah, I mean, they've got some good young guys. And obviously they're doing pretty. I mean, they're winning. The Cavs are kind of a shocking team this year, 16-9. I mean, that's a really good record. K Love in his 14th season, 10 points a game, just kind of a veteran role player now. Evan Mobley's young, 15 a game. DG has been absolutely tearing it up. 22 points a game, eight assists in his third year. I kind of forget how long he's been in the league. He's my age, so that puts it in perspective for me. Ricky Rubio, veteran, 13 a game. Okay, that's pretty good actually from him. I didn't expect that. Isaiah Mobley must not get that many minutes. Jared Allen is their main big guy, I think 14. Then you got Isaac Okoro and Donovan Mitchell. Donovan has been hooping 29 a game. I love to see him doing well. He's got a lot of haters for how he plays, but I mean, this team is putting it together right now. 16-9. They're they've won 11 home games. If they could get it together on the road, they could be disgusting. The Bucks, that's my personal favorite team. Big Giannis fan. I mean, I know he's destroying, honestly. Let's see, 32 points per game, 11 rebounds. I mean, he's just kind of an unstoppable force when he goes to the rim. I think Grayson's actually getting some pretty good minutes, 10.9. Yeah, I mean, he's like 20 to 30 minutes a game right here in this column. Brooke Lopez, love him as my big guy. He is just solid all around, and he can shoot. 15.3. Let's see his 3-point percentage. Yeah, he's shooting. He shot. Oh, well, that's one game. That's one game, but let's go to stats this season. Yeah, over 40% from three. That's really good for a big guy and a veteran. So good to have him on the. And they've got a lot of role players. Pat Connaughton, Wesley Matthews, Chris Middleton is really good. I mean, he's better than 11 points per game. Is he? I don't know. He's playing. Yeah, I know he's coming back from injury, but they've got a lot of solid role players. Grayson Allen, Jordan, and Bobby Portis. The fans love Bobby. 14 a game, 10 rebounds. That's really good from a role player. Yeah, I mean the Bucks are going to be a force this year, just like they have been in the past. The Celtics are obviously just really good. Jason Tatum is destroying 31 points a game. Jaylen Brown, 27. I mean, them two together on the same team is going to be dominant. I like Peyton Pritchard just personally. JD Davison, Bama boy. I mean, he must not be playing much. Yeah, he's getting 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes a game. So he's not getting on the floor. He's got promise. If he could get a jump shot, he would be really good. Blake Griffin, I don't think let's see what he's been doing. Yeah, I mean, he's old Blake Griffin now. He can't do what he used to do. He's still getting a good amount of minutes. Yeah, still getting a good amount of minutes, making sure he's playing recently. Brogdon is always pretty good to have on the team, 14 a game. He's a solid. If he's like your fourth best player, you're in good shape. Yeah, obviously the Celtics are going to be good. Let's see if any of them yeah, they're really on the only streak right now, 9 losses in a row. It's not the streak you want to be on. So I mean, this division, aside from the top, I mean, definitely the top two. Maybe if the Cavs can keep it up, they might be in discussion. Top two are obviously locks, and I mean, postseason they're just destroying the conference. And as they should, their rosters are insane. They have some awesome stars that are hooping. The Cavs have some stars that are stepping up, and then pretty much 4 through probably 12 is up for grabs. I mean, they're only 4 games off of the fourth best team in the conference. So I mean, these teams can make a run. They can make a push. It's really early in the season. It's a long game. 82 games is a lot. So not like these guys are out, but it's a toss up in the middle from 4 to 12 or 13. And we'll see how that pans out. It's kind of exciting to watch. Let's go to the Western Conference now. Start at the bottom. The Spurs uncharacteristically have not been what they used to be with Popovich. It's kind of oh my God, it's kind of a roster thing for them. I mean, who is their dude? Is it Keldon? Okay, so 20 a game. I mean, somebody's got to step up when your roster's thin. Doug McDermott is on this team. 10 points a game. Okay. Don't know a lot about these Spurs this year. Zach Collins, 8 a game. Yeah, I mean, Romeo Langford. Yeah, I mean, this team might just struggle just because of their roster for real. I mean, they're on an 11 game losing streak, so they were 6-7 and haven't won a game since. So that's a rough turn to take. The Rockets, I think they're kind of in the same position with their they got Jabari, but he's just young. He's only averaging 12 a game. I really thought Jabari was gonna make like Paolo waves his rookie year. I mean, they've got Ty. He was good. He must not be playing. Kenyon Martin Jr., he was good, 11. So, I mean, he came straight out of IMG. I mean, they've got some good young guys, but their roster overall is just kind of thin. Jalen Green, 22, he's their guy. Came from the G League. Yeah. I mean, they're going to struggle until they get a better roster, but they got some good young guys with some promise for the future. Obviously struggling right now. The Lakers, I know they started off really rough, and they've recently turned it around a little bit. Let's see. Yes, I mean they started with, oh my good God. It started with, oh, those are preseason losses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 L's in a row. They won 2, and then another 5 L's in a row. 3, 1, 2, and then they kind of picked it back up recently, right in this section here. So I mean they're turning it around. I think they found, a better niche, or a better system, I guess, with some more chemistry. Obviously their roster is good enough to win games. I mean, LeBron James, he's 26 per game in his 19th year at 37 years old, the greatest to ever do it. In my opinion, Pat Bev is doing what Pat Bev does, being annoying to people, getting under people's skin. Is Scotty playing? No. I know AD has been MVP level good recently, 27 a game, 12 rebounds. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not what I want. This most recent games. Yeah, so 55 on the 4th 3 days ago, 44. I mean, he's just been putting up insane numbers. 17 rebounds. He had 55. Oh, no, that's 55 and 17 again at Washington. I mean, he's been playing his ass off. That, I mean, you have a player like that on your team, and you can win games any night. Lonnie Walker, I think, is actually been playing. Yeah, 16.2. I heard good things about him recently, being a good role player. Kendrick Nunn, not anything impressive. Austin Reeves is a role player, 10 a game, not bad. Dennis Schroeder, let's see, 8 a game. So they've got some solid role players around them if they can put it together and, figure out how you're going to put Russ. How's he been doing? 14 and 7. I mean, I'll take it from 34-year-old Russell Westbrook. I mean, if you can get Russell and AD and LeBron to coincide together on the same team and make it work with the level of role players they have, I mean, they could go as far as they want, honestly. And it's so early. They had a rough beginning of the season, and they've won a lot more as of late. So they still have promise. OKC, Shea Gilgeous has been hooping. I know he's a dog, 31 a game. Damn. Yeah, he's been hooping. Jalen Williams, 10. Josh Giddey is their 15 points, pretty good. He's like their shooter. I mean, yeah, they've got a pretty. I mean, Chet's still. Oh, he's out for the season. That kind of sucks for him. I felt bad. He had a lot of promise. I thought he needed to get bigger, and I mean, he's fighting the 7-foot curse where you're just going to get injured, especially with how thin he is. I mean, he's just got to get in the gym and bulk up a little bit, work with some physical therapists to strengthen up his joints and stuff, because he's going to get battered around with how thin he is. I mean, Wembanyama's 7'4", so a little bigger than him, and already thicker, and he's 18. I mean, and Chet's still young too, so he's got time to pull it around. He's 20. I mean, it's older than Wemby, but he could still pull it off. I still believe in Chet if he could get healthy. See what happens. I don't know how the Thunder will be this year though. Kind of unpredictable team. The T-Wolves, and they got D'Angelo and Ant, 23. He's a dog. I really like Ant. I wish he was on a better team where it kind of showed more. Jaden McDaniels is a pretty good role player, 11 a game. Wendell Moore's been good in the past, but not right now. Austin Rivers, Cat, 21. That's what you need from him. You gotta have your stars be your stars. Luka Garza, I forgot about him from Iowa. He must not be playing. Yeah, another middle of the pack team. Well, I mean, hard to tell with these. I mean, right here, their fourth best team, just like in the other division, is only 2 games ahead of them. So these are all pretty much the same. I don't know if they have what it takes, and they got 3 stars. So I mean, those guys put it together and string along some wins. They could do some stuff in the postseason. This is an interesting one. I think everyone expected them to be a little better. I mean, Steph has obviously been playing really well, 30 a game. That's what Steph does. He's obviously their guy. Andrew Wiggins has been hooping 19 a game. Let's see what Clay's numbers are like right now. 18. So that's pretty good for Clay. I'd like to see him in the 20s eventually. I know they're working out a lot of shit with their backups. Moses. They're trying to get Moses, Kaminga, and who's the other, and Wiseman more involved. And I mean, they're going to have to get him more involved eventually. I mean, Steph is 34, Draymond's 32, Clay is 32. So I mean, they're on their way out. I mean, he's probably going to ask for a max deal, and I just don't know if he's a max deal guy. I mean, they're loyal to him because he's been with them for so long. So is Iggy, and Iggy's been hurt. I don't think he's been playing as of late. Yeah, he hasn't played. He's been on the bench dressed in a suit, I remember. But I mean, they got a lot of. They obviously are always a competitor when they have Steph on their team, along with Andrew Wiggins and Clay, with some young talent around them, and Jordan Poole. I forget about Jordan Poole, 17 a game. He's young too, so I mean they've got promise for a while. Obviously, especially with Steve Kerr on the sidelines, they'll be okay. And they could easily turn it. I mean, they're 11-2 at home, which is not surprising. So they're struggling on the road. Only won 2 games on the road. If they could turn that around, and it's hard to win on the road anywhere at any level, but especially the NBA. But obviously they're always a contender. Utah Jazz. Jordan Clarkson is even 20 a game. That's what you need from him. Taylor, nope. He's kind of a role player. Not who I was looking for, I guess. Walker Kessler from Auburn. I doubt he's been playing. Yeah, so minimal minutes. Colin Sexton, 14 a game. Yeah, they might. This is just kind of a thin roster. They're pulling together some wins. Mike Conley, they got a veteran, 10. Yes, I mean, Azubuike from Kansas. He's young. Yeah, I mean, this is a kind of a thin roster. They don't. I mean, they're pulling out wins, which is all that matters. Not sure how long they're going to keep that up. But I mean, they're doing it right now. So if they can do it now, they could sustain. End up being pretty good probably. Portland, Damian Lillard's their guy, 26 per game. Gary Payton, normally a pretty good role player. Like to see that he was better on the Warriors, of course. Everyone that goes to the Warriors gets better. Nasir Little was nope. Shadon Sharp, there's the rookie. 8 points. I've seen some good highlights out of him in spurts. I mean, he's still young, so he's probably just trying to figure it out right now. He's got promise, though, obviously. Wasn't done with them. Maybe I was done with them. I mean, Josh Hart's pretty good. Jeremy Grant's pretty good, 8th year. But, I mean, Justice Winslow's 7th year. I mean, they got a lot of pretty good role players and Damian Lillard. So, Trendon actually played against this guy in high school. Cool to see him out there getting minutes. Let's see. Dallas Mavericks. I love Luka. Let's see how he's been doing. 33 per game, 8-8. This guy, he's my favorite to win the MVP this year. It's going to be tough. It kind of sucks that he's in the Giannis era and Jokic era because they steal some from him, but he should win MVPs before his career's over. He's only 23 too. Just insane how good he is. And this team is pretty good. I mean, JaVale's just one of their big guys. They don't need a ton out of him. Christian Wood is one of their big guys that plays a lot. Yeah, this is their starter. 17 a game. He's doing what he needs to do. Kimba, 12, good role player. I mean, this team has all it needs, I think, to be good. 16 a game. So, I mean, this team could be really good. Obviously, they've been good in the past in the playoffs. Just struggled to close it. And with Luka, anything is possible for that team. I think the Mavs are really good. Hasn't Let me see what's the record at home and away. 10-3 on the they're struggling on the road, just like many teams. I mean, even these top teams up here are struggling on the road. They're barely 500, maybe a little under or over 500, but winning on the road is tough in the NBA. Let's see the Clippers. Kawhi, 11 per game. So he's been out for a little bit. Got to have more from him in the future. John Wall. This team actually has a lot of stars on it. 13. I mean, not bad from Johnny. He's not what he used to be. 23 points per game from Paul, which is their star. And then they got some role players that probably need to step up. 12 a game from Reggie. Yeah, I mean, if they could get Kawhi back healthy and producing what he normally does, and John, I mean, they've got some good stars, and good coaching, in Tyronn Lue. So we'll see what they finish it out at. Denver Nuggets are always good. Obviously, they have been good for a long time, especially because of Jokic. 23 a game, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Probably the best big man in the league, just for his passing ability. He does more, and he can make shots from anywhere on the court. KCP, 11 a game, role playing. Jamal Murray, that's got to be their other guy. Yep, 18 a game. He's probably got to step up his game a little bit if they want to do really well. Aaron Gordon, 16 per game. That's a nice third option to have. So I mean, they're always going to be a contender this season, just like they have been in the past. The Kings are a little surprising to see up this high. And again, it's only 2 games difference between them and the 10th best team or whatever, but just those games matter down the road. 23 a game from De'Aaron Fox. He's a dog. See who else has been hooping for them. Malik Monk. 15 a game from Malik. Davion Mitchell. That's Donovan Mitchell's brother. Nope. Yeah, so I think they might be struggling with their role. Okay, 13 a game from Harrison. So they've got some guys stepping up. Malik, De'Aaron, Harrison. I'm sure there's some other guys that are doing pretty good as role players. Yep, DeMontis, 17 as their big man and 10 rebounds. So I mean, they're pretty good team they've shown so far. And the Grizzlies, I love that the Grizzlies are doing good. I like the Grizzlies, especially Ja. Obviously, he's been performing. 28 and a half, 7 assists. Jaren, 19 a game. That's what you want from him. Desmond Bane is even shooting it well. 25 a game. See what he's been shooting from 3. 46 and 45 from 3. He's always a plus 40% free throw shooter, which is an elite shooter. Tyus Jones, I think he's probably a backup. Okay, 10.4. That's a pretty good role player line. Dylan Brooks, 17 and a half. So, I mean, this team has got some really, really good star power. He's doing what he does, honestly, at his point in his career. He's 9 years in. He's not going to be a primary scorer. He's kind of going to be a garbage bucket big, just, layups, dunks, pick and roll shit, and then grabbing rebounds and giving it to Ja. Kenneth Lofton, he's not playing, I don't think, but yeah. He's the big guy from Louisiana Tech who was all over Instagram at some point. But they've been pulling together wins, 3-game win streak. They're struggling on the road just like every other team, and they're performing at home just like every other good team. It's kind of the difference. I mean, these teams down here also lose a lot of their road games as well as their home games. But if you just take care of your games at home, I mean, they're 10-3 at home, 3-8 on the road, and they're the 7th best team in their conference. Here, 11-2 at home, 2-10 on the road. So that makes them an average team because they win at home, lose on the road. So if you can steal those road games, they're so important in really every level, but especially the NBA, everything's just a little bit more important with all the money involved. The Pelicans are also surprising to see this high up here. Zion has been eating 24 points per game. I'm a big Zion believer. I think he is insanely good. CJ McCollum is with them, 17 a game. I think Jose recently had a big game, 38. He had 38 3 days ago. That's pretty good. And he's, he does what he does. He's a really good role player. BI, 21 a game. So this team is really stacked with talent, and they have some really good role players as well. And Devontae Graham from Kansas, Herb Jones from Bama. I didn't think Herb was still playing. Okay, yeah, he might not. Oh, November 30th, so he's missed a couple games. Kyra Lewis, also from Bama. I think actually he might have gotten moved down to the G League recently with the Birmingham Squadron. Jackson Hayes has been a two-way guy with the Squadron before as well. He doesn't get a lot of minutes. Valanciunas is their dog, I think. Yeah, 13 and 9. So the Pelicans, I mean, that they've shown they're a force to be reckoned with, 15 and 8. And they're winning more than they're losing on the road, barely. I mean, the Phoenix Suns are only the number one seed because they win almost all their home games. They're 4 and 6 on the road. They also have played the least amount of home games, or toward the lower end, which is, I mean, could be a reason why they have such a good record. But they're a really good team as well. I mean, they got D-Book. He's got to be performing, yeah. 28 a game. That's what you have to see from him. Chris Paul, some veteran knowledge in the locker room, 9 and 9. He's not what he used to be, but he's what he needs to be now. 17 and 9. Like for him to be in the 20s, but 17s is not bad. I think Cameron Payne is playing pretty well. Yeah, 13, good role play. Mikal Bridges, 16. Yeah, so I mean, this team is pretty solid all around and they've got a lot of guys who have some years under their belt. So like even all these guys, 3rd, 4th year, 10th year. Bismack, I don't know how much Bismack is playing nowadays. Yeah, not a ton. And then, their younger guys are performing. So Torrey Craig, let's see how he's doing. Just role playing numbers. Cancel that out. Yes, I mean, the Suns are obviously, they've been good the past few years. They're going to be good with their coaching and D-Book, and then all the talent they have around D-Book. Pretty wide open. I mean, even I'm not going to go as far as to say the Spurs or the Rockets are going to be like a playoff team, but I mean, it's so early in the season that it's hard for me to cancel out anybody. I think from honestly 13 up are all still in it. And these teams could be in it, but if I had to guess, just based on looking on what I've seen, I think the Warriors should obviously be higher. The Mavericks should be higher. The Lakers, I think the Lakers should be probably in this pack up here. If they could have just won a couple of those games at the beginning, I mean, they have a chance to be right up in these areas, and they probably will be if they keep the current trajectory they're on right now for the whole season. So yeah, I mean, pretty wide open in terms of playoffs. It's just too early to tell. I mean, if I had to pick, like, let's see. I mean, I'm going to pick these two. Those are absolute locks. I'll lock in the Cavs. I'll just pick 3. The Suns, I think, are locks. The Mavericks are locks. The Nuggets are locks. This is just kind of my own bias. I think the Lakers will make it in. Warriors will make it in. I think the Heat will make it in. I think the Hawks will make it in. If I had to pick, let me pick one team from the bottom 5. In this division, I think LaMelo comes back. They could make a run and push but I really like Spoelstra and what he's got down there. I'm going to pick the Heat, purely off of coaching and what Spoelstra can do with his teams. I'll take the Lakers in this one. I think they're going to turn it around. I think they really slipped at the beginning of the season, and they're just digging out of a hole right now. Um, the middle tier, I'm going to pick the Warriors, but I could easily pick the Mavericks as well. Jazz might make it as I mean, all these teams are so close that um they could all make it. But I'm going to pick the Warriors and the Mavericks. Oh, this one. I'll pick the Raptors just on coaching and Pascal. Really, that's my only hope for those teams. And then the top six, their destiny's kind of in their hands. They just got to keep winning, and they'll be fine. But yeah, this is just kind of a breakdown of the whole league so far. 23, 25 games into the season. Just kind of how everybody's standing, who's overperforming, who's underperforming. We'll see how it plays out. The season is still young. A lot of teams are going to make runs. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get back healthy. I'd love to see the Hornets team with LaMelo on it. He's electric to watch, kind of like Ja or Zion. Just entertaining basketball to watch. Appreciate y'all watching. We're going to have our normal content up from here on out. And subscribe and like the video for more. And I will see y'all later.